All right, welcome back, Engineering Design and Development. Today we're going to work on Activity 4.2, and that would be design specs. So we're going to go over this outline here that I've created, and then that's pretty much it. It'll be a pretty short video probably. So to start, we're going to break this down into different things. So we'll start with specifications. So all of your specifications come down to whether it's a constraint or whether it's a criteria. All right, and criteria would be anything that has to be met to be a successful product. Okay, purifying water, it would have to purify water. It would have to be usable in certain areas. It would have to, all right. So there's a bunch of things. Plane. If you're creating a plane, it has to be able to fly. It has to be able to carry people or cargo. It has to be able to take off and land on a runway. Things like that. Constraints would be anything that restricts you or gets in the way. It becomes a roadblock to accomplishing this. So how much time you have, how much money there is available, how many, what resources, knowledge. If you Google either of these, you'll find quite a bit of things out there. So as you're creating your design specifications, all right, we will be able to see which ideas are your best ones, because the more specifications it can meet, the better the idea would be. Okay, so let's look at when you guys are creating your concepts and you're done brainstorming and you get it narrowed down to a little bit. Some you'll be able to throw out just because a quick look at things is just, that's not feasible. So you start whittling down your list, and then when you get to some viable concepts, that's when you have to start breaking it down and be like, so what is this going to look like, right? This is where you'll create a good sketch of maybe 2 or 3 ideas at least. How is it going to work? So adding some sort of explanation, how would it work? All right, a sketch may not be good enough for us to be able to understand. And remember, it's not whether it's good enough for you, it's good enough for us. You're going to show this to engineers and other students, so they need to be able to understand how it's going to work. What materials are you going to need? Is this going to be something you can access, or we have to order materials, or is it something all you can get at the local hardware store? What environment is it going to be in, and will those materials hold up? Right? Are you designing this to work in sunny Florida? Is it going to work in the cold of Antarctica? Where's it going to work? Right? And then the materials you decide, are those going to hold up? So later on, you might have to test these materials to see if they are going to hold up to what you're expecting. Here we have the next one. What will the item's impact be? So that means financially. How is this going to think Shark Tank? Tell me why this is going to be good, right? Even a not-for-profit is not going to put in money to something that's not going to make money, all right? Not that they are out there to make money, but at the end of the day, they have to have enough money to continue, all right? So while they don't need to make a profit, all right, a not-for-profit, they do need to show that they will be able to withstand the cost. And a business itself is to make profit. So just something to keep in mind. And then use of space, right? How much space is it going to take up? Is it recyclable? What is its impact going to be on the environment? What is its social impact? Some of the things that just are coming out is the use of cell phones. No one could have predicted how a cell phone impacts us socially, but there are a lot of resources and studies out there now that show how cell phones have impacted us. Is it going to be safe? All right. Obviously, you want it to be safe, and some products will have inherent risks with them, right? For example, a car, there is a risk of getting in an accident. So what can you do to mitigate those risks? Are there any legal issues you must be cognitive of? Copyrights, maybe some sort of insurance would be required to have it, things like that. Next, prioritizing your requirements. So for your design specifications, you will need to create a prioritized list, 1 through 20, 30, I don't know. All right. But the thing is that your prioritized requirements need to be specific. All right. So it can't be needs to purify water. All right. That is a bad prioritized requirement because you can't rate that. Okay. There's it's a yes or no, but the you might have different levels of clean. All right. For example, so you might have your prioritized requirement of being needs to pass a turbidity rating of whatever would be considered clean water, or needs to have so much clarity and needs to be rid of so much bacteria, etc., to be considered clean. So you need to make sure your prioritized list is specific. Next, once you've narrowed this down to 2 or 3 ideas and you've used your prioritized list and you've really narrowed it down to your best ideas, a good idea would be to take a survey, create one based off of the 2 or 3 ideas that you have, and then provide that survey to experts in the field. And so if your product is electrical based, maybe you would find some electrical engineers to review your information, and then you can utilize that feedback. And when you come back to the drawing table to create your final design, or you present at the end of the day and you're like, this is the reason we went with this design, and it's not just I felt or our numbers showed, you can show that you actually got other engineers to agree that this idea was better, is going to make your project much stronger when compared to your fellow peers. All right, so you want to make sure that you can definitely be have a valid argument, and having expert feedback is definitely a way to add more credibility to your report. There are examples of decision matrix and survey examples on Canvas under Unit 4, so make sure you utilize those. But other than that, if you have any questions, talk to your other classmates, talk to your teacher. And with that, good luck and have a good day.